Information is power.
That's right, everybody. What's going on? This is the Information Man. Let's get into it right now. This one's going to be a doozy. How many of you out there are familiar with Pastor Gino Jennings? This man roasted Donald Trump, to a crisp, called him out for what he is. And a lot of y'all that voted for him or didn't vote for him, we can't be in denial. There's some suspicious things going on with Trump as it relates to those Epstein files. Of course, he's causing all type of issues with saying he wants to go after this country, that country, a lot of different things. And we're going to get into that in just in a moment. Let me also say a reminder to everybody that when it comes to the ICE video that I did previously, I want to make it very clear to everyone that I do not believe people that are here illegally, whether it be criminals or people that are here illegally, broke the law and did not get their paperwork correct. I do not endorse them staying in the country when they didn't get their paperwork correct. In that video, I clearly laid it out that I had a problem with ICE putting their hands on American citizens. And when I come out with that video that I've been telling you all about, I'm going to show you footage of black people who are black Americans being harassed by ICE. Now, let's get back to this issue right here with Donald Trump. Gino Jennings, he put a roast on this man. He cooked him. He cooked Donald Trump like he was a turkey on Thanksgiving. And I want you to hear what he had to say, because let's keep it real. Donald Trump does have a relationship with this man right here, Epstein. There's no doubt about it. Here's a picture right here. He was partying with Epstein, with underage girls, allegedly young girls. He's a weirdo. And I'm going to show you some clips to back up everything that Gino Jennings was saying about this administration and many other administrations that have allowed this crap to go on. Now, he does call out the Congress and how the Congress hasn't done what they should be doing. And that includes both Democrat and Republican clans and Democrats, as I like to call them. And let's get on into Gino Jennings right now. I'm going to put this up here and let you hear what he had to say. This is very explosive.
Trump is a leadhead.
That's right.
He's a fool.
That's a fool.
They're so brainwashed over Trump. If they got a picture, I don't know what they do, but if they got a picture with the 11-year-old or 15-year-old sitting on his lap, you know what they're saying?
That's something, man.
I say AI.
Yeah. Make an excuse.
But if it's a Democrat now, oh, that's for real.
That's right.
Lock him up.
That's something, man.
You gotta know a pervert in the White House.
Pervert.
Listen to Pastor Jennings, you old Trump lovers. You don't like me, and I don't care if you don't. I love you, you hell-bound heathens. You got a pervert in the White House.
Woo!
Go ahead.
You ain't got nothing but an orange pervert in the White House.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know I ain't on the air to make friends with nobody.
That's right.
You folks elected a pervert.
It's a pervert.
Why you think the White House and the Congress are so upside down?
Yeah.
Now, do you agree with Pastor Gino Jennings that Donald Trump is a orange pervert, that this a pervert, a allegedly pedophile, or as we say on YouTube, a PDF in the White House? I would like you to be honest and leave comments. Now, I'm sure there are people that support Donald Trump. They are Donald Trump fans. They think that this white man can walk on water and part the seas and his draws don't stink and stuff like that.
Tell the truth.
But I'm here to tell you that there's something strange going on with Donald Trump. Now, he goes after Venezuela, right? He does a bombing over there, says he wants to change the regime. He gets Maduro out of there, but yet he leaves people that were a part of Maduro's leadership. He leaves them in leadership. Then we know that Trump has not released all Epstein files. Even the people that support Donald Trump have been complaining about Donald Trump not releasing all files. People are not very happy about that. So I want you to give your honest opinion about Gino Jennings. Now, some of you may have criticism of Gino Jennings. Hey, you can leave those comments, but I want you to really listen to what he's saying and really be honest. Who did we put in the office in the White House? All right, because check this out. those of us in social media, particularly black social media, we have done videos about Umar Johnson. We have done videos about Polite, videos about various individuals like Nature Boy who have done sexual deviant type of behavior, right? We've got Nature Boy 1 in prison. We've got Polite 2, he's in prison, right? So when we roast and cook and expose, especially on the black YouTube streets, someone like those individuals that I just named, we have no problem with saying, yeah, those you-know-whats did it, right? But now when it comes to Trump, everybody in general wants to sort of like say, well, wait a minute. Look, give your opinions about what you think about what Gino Jennings is saying, Pastor Gino Jennings, because he does make some very good points here and there. Let's go.
Pervert in the White House.
Go ahead.
You ain't got nothing but an orange pervert in the White House.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know I ain't on the air to make friends with nobody.
That's right.
You folks elected a pervert.
It's a pervert.
Why you think the White House and the Congress are so upside down?
Yeah.
The whole
It is upside down. Let me break some figures here for you. Now, you know that overall, white men voted for Trump at about 59% or more. White women voted for Trump the same way they did in 2016, around 53, 54%, somewhere in there, right? And then, of course, black people, black Americans, or no, I'm going to correct y'all on something. Black people voted, or black men voted for Trump at 21%. But coming out in the wash, a majority of those black people that voted for Trump at that 21% in terms of men, believe it or not, a lot of them weren't black Americans. There are stats on this, okay? Now, another thing, Latino men voted for Donald Trump at around 34%, somewhere in there in the percentile. And of course, you had Latinos saying they were voting for Donald Trump, right? Well, guess what's happening? Donald Trump, along with his ICE, individuals from ICE, they have been deporting particularly people who are Spanish speaking. And as a result of this, they've also been arresting Americans as well. As you already know, Miss Goods lost her life. I told you all about Keith Porter, who lost his life by an off-duty ICE agent, and it's not really getting much traction. This is a brother that lost his life. He was black American, and it's pretty sad. Let's get back to this.
whole America now is upside down.
Upside down.
The whole country done lost their mind practically. Everything is disorganized.
Disorganized. That's right.
Somebody commented and said, well, why don't you speak against all the Muslims, or all the Muslims need to be deported? Why?
Right.
Because they're Muslims?
Go ahead.
So a Muslim should be deported. And then they commented and said, well, Muslims bombed the towers in New York. Are you sure?
Now, this is one of the areas that people believe, it sounds conspiratorial, but there's a lot of people who believe that it wasn't them, that the United States government under Bush at the time might have orchestrated something. It's a conspiracy theory. A lot of people are saying that it looked like those buildings, the towers, were brought down with controlled blast. There's a whole bunch of things that you can think about that situation. There are people wondering, why is it that people who came from they're claiming that it came from Afghanistan, or maybe it came from Kuwait, one of these places. But why is it that a lot of these guys that did this were from Saudi Arabia, where the United States does business with Saudi Arabia when it comes to oil? But how is it that they could come to the United States, learn how to fly planes, and say that they didn't want to learn how to land a plane? That's strange to me. Let's continue. That's just part of the conspiracy theory.
So are you telling me that I should say that the Muslims should be deported because they're Muslims?
Lord.
Then why don't you bigots tell me that I should preach against all white folk,
Right.
for hanging black folk?
Amen.
Well, it is true that white folks did hang black people back in the 40s and 50s and 30s and the 1900s. These things were facts.
And are all white folk bigots? No.
No. That's right.
Write me now.
That's right. That's right.
See, I'm a preacher that ain't dictated by the media.
Wonderful.
Government
Interesting.
don't tell me what to preach.
Go ahead, man.
I ain't influenced by Trump.
Go ahead.
I'm influenced by Bible here.
That's right.
Now, let me just say this right here. In America, are we able to be free thinkers today? Or are we always being influenced by some type of mainstream media, what have you? Are preachers able to think for themselves? Certainly, we have preachers that have gotten themselves into stuff that's questionable. You have preachers asking for lots of money to build their mega churches and what have you. But ask yourself, do we really have freedom of speech, or is freedom of speech just not free anymore? So you have to ask yourself those type of questions, ladies and gentlemen, when you go about thinking about these things. Pastor Jennings says he can think for himself. He uses the Bible. Now, there's some that believe that the Bible was just another form of social control on black people when we were arrived here, when we were brought here in shackle slavery. There are those who say, hey, we were already here. But at the end of the day, the Bible, Christianity, is something that was used as a form of social control and ideology. However, let's get back to what he's saying right here, shall we?
That's right.
Trump said all Somalians are garbage.
Yeah. My Lord, my Lord.
You're a liar.
That's a lie. That's right.
All Somalians are not garbage. In fact, I don't know of no Somalian that's garbage.
No.
And I see you bigots marching past mosque, protesting. Go back to Palestine. Go back to Iran. A lot of Muslims were born here in this country.
Now, let me say this. There are Muslims that were born here in this country. Now, the Somalian situation is that we got to be honest. The Somalis, they did do some fraud in Minnesota. That is a fact because obviously there were Somalians that were arrested. I think about 50 of them. Where I draw the line on this issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that I don't think that you should demonize a whole group of people for what maybe a few have done out of that group. And that's where I draw the line with the Somali situation in Minnesota, that I don't think you should demonize all these people. You had that guy, Nick Shirley, going around saying that the child care facilities were fraudulently run, and come to find out they weren't. He tried to fool you all by going to these businesses when they weren't even technically open yet, and some of them had already been closed down. But you shouldn't demonize a group of people with a broad brush, but you can define that those that got in trouble who were doing fraudulent acts in Minnesota are now already being prosecuted. Now let's get back to Pastor Gino Jennings.
And some of you are protesting. You came from Europe.
Go ahead.
You go back to Europe.
Now, this is a good point. You got a lot of white folks out there that are working for ICE. You've got people like Trump right here with a young underage girl who's running around telling everybody that he wants to get the illegals out of this country. But if you look at Donald Trump's background, his father came over here illegally. Many members of his family were illegal. Every woman that he's married to, the woman that's in the White House right now, they all have gotten to this country illegally. Even Elon Musk, who has been his right-hand man, came over here illegally. I just wanted to lay that out to you all. Let's continue.
Now, when I preach like this, they will say, oh, he's racist. No, I'm not racist. I'm a realist.
That's right.
No, all Somalians ain't garbage.
No.
Trump is a leadhead.
That's right.
He's a fool.
That's a
You know, leadhead is a old school term. A leadhead. Interesting.
fool. He is a fool.
And many of you fellas in Congress, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
How this man can say any dumb thing
That's right.
and conduct himself, and you little congressional whores.
Go ahead.
He called them congressional whores. Now, let me just say this. I believe in being an equal opportunist. Get you. That's the Republican clan. They are whores. And the Democrats are whores. Both political parties are whores. You know, what do black people get from the Democrats? Nothing. We're like Charlie Brown on Halloween. We look into our candy bag and we got rocks. Same thing with the Republican Klan. When you look in your candy bag, you get nothing from the Republicans at all. Both parties are the same bird of the same two wings. One screws you with Vaseline, the other screws you without Vaseline. It's just the truth. My opinion, you do the math yourself. Here we go.
That sit there like you're being ran by a pimp.
Woo!
You're too scared to say anything.
Preach it.
You bunch of Republican hookers.
Preach it, man.
Woo!
You're scared hookers.
He called,
Go ahead,
no. Now look at this. He calls the Republicans scared hookers. Now, why is that? Because the Republicans don't stand up to Donald Trump. Now, there are certainly things that the Republicans don't agree with Donald Trump, but they simply do the bidding of Donald Trump because of the fact that they're afraid to lose their congressional seats. See, I learned something from Brother Joe Madison. He passed away some time ago. He said that in politics, let me correct myself now, say this right. In politics, there are no permanent enemies. There are no permanent friends. There is only permanent interests in which we call politics. Let's continue with Pastor Gino Jennings.
Are you listening to the old man?
Yeah.
You're scared.
Go ahead, Pastor.
Scared to represent the folks that voted for you.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
And the preachers are the same way. Scared.
Scared.
Won't say nothing.
Yep.
Now, we must agree that there are preachers in the pulpit that won't speak out when there is time to speak out about real issues. They're more concerned about how much money they get from their members of their church. They're more concerned about trying to smash the members of their church, in this case, whether female or male. Okay? They're too busy trying to be popular and not saying what is the truth. You give me your opinion about Pastor Gino Jennings, if you agree with what he's saying here or you disagree or what have you.
Won't say nothing. Won't say
I'm
nothing.
glad God made me a preacher, brother. Amen.
Wonderful, man.
You can't pay these preachers to say what we said.
Oh, no.
They're scared of threats of getting sued.
Not going to
They ain't scared of nobody in the world but God.
That's right. That's right.
And they will actually get over the air to try to justify him. This man said, a people is all garbage. Ain't nothing but racism.
That's all it is.
Somalians are all garbage. He's a bigot.
It's a bigot.
Now,
Go ahead.
ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you. I'm going to come back to what he's saying. He said that Trump called all Somalis garbage, and do you believe that that's being a bigot? And I'm going to say again, you cannot demonize a whole group of people. You can demonize those individuals within the group that have been arrested for the fraud in Minnesota, which have been 50 of them that were arrested. But do you demonize all of these people? Because when you do that, now you put their life in danger, those that are at risk. Just like when Trump was going on about Haitians were eating dogs and cats. And everybody out there brought into that manipulation, that bull crap, and said, oh, yeah, they're eating dogs and cats. But don't you find it interesting that the only people that he demonizes like this tend to be people who have a paint job like me or like you, those that are listening that are black, right? And then every time he has something negative to say about women, particularly women that are black, he always says low IQ. Some of you out there have forgotten the buzzwords from the past because that's the kind of things they would say about black people in the 50s and 60s. They would question our intelligence. They would say that our skulls were small. Donald Trump is using every playbook out of that racist playbook that has been around for many, many years. Some of you are in denial of this because you like him like a fan likes a singer or entertainer. So you will make excuses for the things that he does that you know damn well have racist history and roots because you, quote unquote, like the man. And you can't even tell me, in my opinion, what he has actually done to put more money in your pocket, because right now inflation's going up. We got people losing their jobs. Black women lost federal jobs at around 3,000 to 5,000 because of Trump. Trump is attacking programs that were meant for black people. He's attacking black museums. He's trying to take down the history of black people in the military, take down the history of what has happened to black people in America. And he's trying to whitewash history and change the narrative because Donald Trump is talking about making white America great again. He ain't talking about America for black folks or any other race of people. It's for his own people. Let's go.
It'd be the same way if I were to say all white folk is no good. That's not the truth.
Not the truth.
You got black men in prison for rape, white men in prison for rape, Spanish men in prison for rape.
That's right.
Does that mean that every white man or black man or Hispanic man or rapist? No.
No. Go
Trump
ahead.
claim you want to clean up this country.
Go ahead.
You a liar.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Look at all the drugs that come in here from Europe,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right.
from China.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very good point that he's making because Trump has made the Venezuela invasion about drugs. However, this is why you know that Trump is not a good individual. He's a person of low quality. If you're so concerned about fentanyl coming into America, well, we know that fentanyl comes into America mainly from places like China, and Venezuela is not really known for the fentanyl trade like that. Two, if Trump is so concerned about drugs coming into America and he wants to save Americans, why would he give a pardon to a known drug trafficking leader in the case of Juan Hernandez of Honduras? He gave that man a pardon, y'all. He gave a pardon to a known criminal drug trafficker that was convicted by Joe Biden, and then he releases him and then tells you and me that he's going after Venezuela in that sea and bombing boats because he's trying to protect Americans from Venezuela when it's really about oil.
Tell the truth.
Let's just tell the truth, right? And all of this is disguising the fact that he's in those Epstein files. And he doesn't want you really knowing how deep it goes. Okay, and I'm going to give you some clues today of how deep it may go and how deep it could be going. And this is just a hypocrisy at the end of the day. Let's get back to Pastor Gino Jennings.
That's true. Yeah.
This will take me all the way to the evening sacrifice.
That's good.
You that are watching and you that are here, you're made for God's glory.
That's it.
That's what God made you for, to live for him.
That's right.
All right. So you heard Gino Jennings, Pastor Gino Jennings. He's very controversial. You see video clips of him all over the social media streets of YouTube and beyond. Give me your honest opinion about what you thought he was saying, whether good, wrong, good, bad, or indifferent. Just let me know how you feel. But let me show you some receipts on Donald Trump to let you know that some of what Gino Jennings said may very well have some validity, okay? Because this man, Donald Trump, has been trying to hide those files, right? He's deep in those files. And his connection to Epstein is that they were bosom buddies. They were friends. They were close, even if he wants to deny it. Let me give you some little clues right here. Here's a video where Donald Trump is on, I believe this is Howard Stern, and he's telling you how he goes in the dressing rooms and he's watching and inspecting the young girls in the dressing room. It's very inappropriate what he did here. Check this out.
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, you know, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
What you could also say is the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now, tell
Well,
me
I'll
what
tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, you know, no men are anywhere. and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
You're like a
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women, and so I sort of get away.
He sort of gets away with it. So this is what Donald Trump has been about when he says he sort of gets away with it. It's kind of creepy. And a lot of those girls are some of the women today that have come out and talked about what was done to them by Donald Trump's buddy, Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. Donald Trump has been caught on, there's tons of pictures of him with these underage. See right here, photo of Donald Trump, right? Epstein private island, dancing with a 13-year-old girl. I'm telling you, I don't know how anybody can support a PDF, a president in the White House who potentially could be a pedophile or potentially protecting pedophiles, you see? Because we certainly go after all these other people that I've done videos on who are doing these sort of things, and we'll call it out. But for some reason, people don't want to call it out with Trump, don't want to deal with it with Trump, right? Now, let me show you some more evidence of Trump's kind of creepy behavior right here.
Now, well, other than the fact I'm married, okay,
Right.
and I'm very happily married. I have a great wife. But if I weren't married,
Now, on this video, as he says, if I wasn't married, they're going to ask him, or Howard Stern, who's a weirdo as well, is going to ask Trump, how young would he go? Now, he starts saying like 20 something, but near the end, he also said 12 years old. Now, you can find the original video of this on social media. Hear it for yourself. He did say 12 years old. You're going to hear that near the end of this. Here we go.
be able to get all of the girls I want, except for possibly Robin.
Do you think you could now be banging 24-year-olds?
Oh, absolutely.
See, look
Would
at
you,
this.
No trouble.
would you do it?
I have no problem.
Yeah. Do you have an age limit, or would you?
No, I have no age. I mean, I have an age. I don't want to be
The
like
upper bracket.
See, he caught himself kind of in a Freudian slip. He says, I have no age, but then he knows he was on air, so he caught himself and then tried to clean it up. But then he said 12 years old very quickly. Check this out.
Foley with 12-year-olds.
Can I make a prediction for you?
Yes.
I say you have one more marriage in you.
Well, that's nice. I'm sure Melania will love to hear.
So right there, he did mention 12 years old. But in the beginning, he caught himself because he said he had no age restriction, and then turned around and said, well, I can get 20-year-olds, early 30-year-olds. And then he made that 12-year-old comment near the end. Look at this young girl that's on this picture. Now, this picture was originally in the Epstein files that were put out, some more files that were put out there. Then you had the estate of Jeffrey Epstein's estate that came out with some things about this man. Let me let you see something else right here, ladies and gentlemen. Epstein himself was being interviewed in a deposition when he was being looked at as a potential predator, or when he was seen as a predator, and he's being interviewed, and they asked him very clear and up to the point, have you hung out with Donald Trump socially, with girls of a certain age? And guess what he did? He said, I'm going to plead the fifth. He says, as much as I would like to answer that question, I didn't. You know why he did that? Because if it was true that he did not hang out with Donald Trump in the presence of underage girls, then why would Jeffrey Epstein not want to say yes? Because why? He knew it would implicate Trump, and Trump and him had a tight relationship. Okay. I want y'all to hear this. This is real. This ain't no AI, none of that stuff. This is the real breakdown right here. Check this out.
You ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
As you can see right here, Donald Trump was partying with Epstein socially. These girls look very young on here. Here is him with Maxwell. There he is, Jeffrey Epstein, the Ivanka Trump. I think this is the woman in the White House. That's the first lady. You know, he met her because she was a high price escort or whore that Epstein was messing around with. So Donald Trump married and got with the side piece, another side piece of Jeffrey Epstein. That's who you have as the first lady in the White House. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, should I put up here like so, that you see right here is the drawer. When they did investigation into Epstein's home, in his drawer, his tape, his desk, here's some more pictures of Donald Trump hanging out, you know, in here. But here's the one that's very damning right here, is that you can clearly see that this is an underage girl. They had to block this face out because they had to deduct things out of the files. Okay, I'm just kind of showing you some receipts here because this man is not a very kosher individual. Let me show you something right here that I find very interesting. Some of you might have forgotten about this, but I haven't, and I got the clip. Now, Elon Musk, when he had a falling out with Trump, he went to his X platform and said, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. This was Elon Musk who put this out, and then he deleted it later because remember, him and Donald Trump had a falling out. And as a result of it falling out, he became mad. And then he went back to his X platform and told everybody that Donald Trump is deep in them files. Okay? Okay? Now, let me show you something else. Let me show y'all something else before we get on out of here. Okay? This is the Information Man Show. We're going to give you the information over here 24/7 as much as we can. But let me give you something else, another receipt. Here's a receipt from Jeffrey Epstein's brother, who doesn't believe that Jeffrey Epstein took his life. He believed there was something conspiratorial. And keep this in mind, Donald Trump was the president at the time that Epstein got arrested, got put in that prison, or no, that jail in New York, and then funny things happened because maybe Jeffrey Epstein has something on Trump. Matter of fact, Michael Wolff, in Michael Wolff's book, he talks about how one day he was with Jeffrey Epstein, and Epstein opened up a drawer, put out a bunch of pictures, and he had pictures of Donald Trump with young girls around him, and he had like a little stain in his pants like he had done something sexual. I'm just keeping it real with you. That's what Michael Wolff said. It's all detailed in his book, and he has recordings. And that recording that I just played from you, from Jeffrey Epstein, is a piece of recording that even Michael Wolff was able to retain. Now, let's hear his brother spill some beans on some things right here. He says he doesn't believe that the truth is going to come out. Here we go.
What I do want to talk about is I've been recently told the reason they're going to be releasing these things and the reason for the flip is that they're sanitizing these files. There's a facility in Winchester, Virginia, where they're scrubbing the files to take Republican names out of it. That's what I was told by a pretty good source.
So he said they're taking Republicans' name out. Now, we know that Bill Clinton, so anybody that says, oh, well, Bill Clinton, we know that Bill Clinton's a freak. We know that Bill Clinton is probably guilty as hell, too. I don't care if there are Democrats. I want to see them face justice as well and be prosecuted. All of the people that's involved. I don't give a damn if they're Democrat or Republican because I have no loyalty to either party, you see. But that's just a little bit from his own brother, Jeffrey Epstein's own brother. Now, here, this what I want to show you that's going to be very powerful. There's a guy who worked as an undercover. This is the journalist that interviewed this man. This man was an undercover federal agent who said that, yeah, they're going to scrub the files. They're going to hide some stuff. I want y'all to hear this. This made big news early on.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of pages of files. They'll redact every Republican or conservative person.
So this guy right here is Jeffrey, and he's an acting deputy chief officer of enforcement operation at DOJ. He said they redacted every Republican or conservative person in those Epstein files. Leave all the library Democrat people in those files. Okay. Now, he was being interviewed and did not know he was being interviewed like this. And this is how it all got out. So let me play this back for you. I just wanted to set this up. And here we go.
Yeah, thousands and thousands of pages of files. They'll redact every Republican or conservative person in those files. Leave all the liberal Democratic people in those files.
I think they visited that Maxwell person.
Yeah.
And also involved.
Got transferred to a minimum security prison too recently, which is against BOP policy because she's.
Now, what he said is about Maxwell, who was the girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein. Remember, she got released out of her maximum security prison. They put her in a low security prison because someone from the Donald Trump administration went and talked to her. And all of a sudden they put her in a cushy prison because she's playing ball with them because she knows the truth. Let's go.
She's a convicted sex offender. They're offering her something. Keep it on show.
That was the acting deputy chief of the Office of Enforcement Operations, Joseph Schnitt, telling a stranger about the FBI and DOJ's handling of the Epstein files. Schnitt, who works at a high level inside the Department of Justice, goes on to comment on the inconsistent statements, special treatment of Ghislaine Maxwell, and the blatant backtracking on promises of transparency.
What do you do for work again?
I work for the Department of Justice.
Okay.
Been there like 23 years. I'm an analyst. I'll be acting deputy chief of our office for a few months starting next week. I work closely with like all the federal law enforcement agencies, the U.S. attorney's offices, the prosecutors and stuff. The thing is, it's interesting because I do deal with so many of the agencies, like the Bureau of Prisons, the Marshal Service, the FBI, U.S. attorney's offices.
See right there. So now let me just say this. When you listen to someone like Pastor Gino Jennings, you may laugh, you may giggle and say, this pastor just talking, he don't know what he's talking about. I think that there was some validity to what Pastor Gino Jennings had to say. And that's the reason why after he said what he had to say, I wanted to show y'all some receipts to let you realize that we just may have a PDF in the White House or a PDF president protecting those pedo individuals. It's just some food for thought for you. I hope you're doing well out there, everybody. Definitely do me the biggest favor. And if you can, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification and what have you. I really appreciate that. I also want to remind you that it was once again his buddy, Elon Musk. This is the original tweet on X where Elon Musk said, time to drop the really big bomb at real Donald Trump. So he put Donald Trump in at Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. And now even the files that have been released so far, according to, folks out there, not all of them are still being released. And there's a lot of redactions that are questionable. So I just want y'all to think about that when you think about Pastor Gino Jennings calling Donald Trump out, exposing him, saying he's a lead head and what have you, and once again like this.
Trump is a lead head.
That's right.
He's a fool.
That's a fool.
They're so brainwashed over.
So I hope you all are doing fine. We're going to get ready to get on out of here. I appreciate you. And remember, I am going to be working on that video exposing ICE and who they really are. And I'm going to say again to everybody, I'm not a supporter of people that are here illegally. I'm not a supporter of people that are here illegally and they're criminals. I think those are the people that should be let out of here. But I do have a problem with Americans being picked on by ICE that are citizens. And I'm going to show you video again of Black Americans who are being harassed by these ICE individuals. So they're not following their own policies. I just got to keep it real with y'all about that. With that said, we'll be back with some more content. Like I said, that video about ICE will be coming forth very soon. I've got to do some more research and got lots of tidbits for you on that. With that said, y'all take care. This is the Information Man Show. Take care.
Without fail, actions speak louder than words, and that's a lesson that I learned all by myself. Let her know, I gotta let her know that she my white horse, she my medical. She like my baby mama, know how to take care of me. Give my baby problems, you gon' regret every day. So I let her know, gotta let her know. Came through the front door, I'll be ready for her. And if it's what you want, I'ma give it to you. Yeah, make sure promise, I'ma give it to you. La, 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 la. Feel it, baby. Stress is all around us. These high ceilings, and I need it, baby. Pressure it, make diamonds. I won't steal it, baby. Silent, baby. Hurts to see you crying. I know you trying. Ain't no lying, baby. When I say I need you, greedy if I have to share you. It was me that all along did you wrong, thinking that I made you beautiful and strong.
Is power.
The death of me, I fear the day you gone. The most beautiful girl I've ever known.